Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. And today I'm going to start from where I left, somewhere in between the financial education series. I was a bit occupied with other stuff because this is something wherein you have to put a lot of efforts to make one particular video, a lot of study, because you're trying to teach others something, so you don't want to teach something wrong. I've already covered a few videos for those whom don't of you who don't know. There's already a playlist on my YouTube channel called Financial Education Series, both in English and Hindi and Urdu. Both this, all three, in fact, all three languages. Hindi and Urdu is more or less similar. So I'm continuing from where I'd left. I have already had some around 8-10 videos explaining candlesticks, how to use investing.com, and other details. So you can check it out over here, the previous videos. Today I'm going to cover how to draw trend lines. Now, before I can proceed, I would request you to kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not done yet, and please do not forget to press the bell icon. Besides that, you're going to find the links to my social media handles, Twitter, WhatsApp. Please feel free to join, but Telegram is one of the things which I recommend the most. Last and the most important thing is the disclaimer: I'm not a financial advisor, so as such I request you to do your own due diligence before making any investments. So on this notes, let's move ahead and see how to go about drawing trend lines and how to use trend lines for your trading. So I will go straight away to the investing.com site. As I've mentioned to you, I've covered a separate video explaining how to use investing.com. So if you are new to investing.com, you can go and check out the video first and then come back to investing.com. Now, trend lines are very powerful tool for trading, and most of the traders, maybe you might be using TA, FA, that's technical analysis, fundamental analysis, but the most widely used tool are trend lines, and they give very good results too if you follow them and practice trading using trend lines. Now, how to draw trend lines? Here you can go and choose a random script. Over here I've chosen here Tata Motors. You can take anything. You can take BTC or any script for that matter. You can take a Forex script over here. I've just taken up at random over here a Tata Motors script over here. Now coming to trend lines, how you go about it, you can see the left hand side column is your tools. What each tools, as I mentioned, is already done. I've covered the video, so please check out in case you don't know how to. So for drawing a trend line, you're going to come over here and you can see a small arrow over here. When you click this, you can see the menu over here. Now from all this, for drawing trend lines, typically there are various ways you can draw. It's like a segment over here, small trend line, which you can extend. Let me show you first. Like if I click on this, like I can click over here, and from here till here, sorry, let me go back and click trend line from here till here. So this works like a segment over here. Now if you want, you can extend it further. So if you want a short one, you come over here. If you want, you extend it further. So this is one of the things which you're using. I prefer the extended type. So then there's a trend angle. Horizontal line is also very widely used thing which is there. Now supposing I want to draw over here 1 2 3 points, I'm getting touching over here. Okay, so let me draw over here. There you go. And then you can literally play around with the colors and stuff over here. Okay, you can make it a bit thicker. So right now I'm not going to use the horizontal one. What I'm going to use is, I showed you can use this trend line, you can extend it. I always prefer the extended one. because you can always use it again. So let me, as I shown you, if you try and use this like a segment, it is going to be a small one from here to here, and each time you would need to manually adjust it as the script is moving further. But the good part with extended is, this is what I prefer and which I would recommend to you, is choose this one, extended. So let's say I want to connect 2 points over here, say this and this point. So when I choose this point and I choose this point, you can see a line is already going. Now this line, let me make it black. Okay, now this line you can see will go infinite. So further also, whenever you require, you can use this line. Hence I prefer this particular line. Now coming to the methodology, how you're going to draw this particular trend line, I'm going to delete it. Okay, so how you're going to draw it, you just can't go and draw a trend line anywhere you feel like. Okay, so there is a first thing what you need to find. I'm going to Bitcoin for example. Over here, what you need to identify is a trend, whether the current script is in an uptrend or whether it's a downtrend. Now visually, if you are into if you know the basics also, you can see like this is an uptrend, this is a downtrend, uptrend. So when it is moving up, the price is called uptrend. When it's moving down, it is a downtrend. So first, once you have identified, now let's say we go any place random in between the script over here. Now let's say this is an uptrend. I don't know what's going to happen over here. And okay, so let me go over here. Since I'm using the lappy, I'm not having a proper control over here. Mouse would do better. Okay, so let's try and draw. You can see over here that there is, now in case of an uptrend, what you need to do is you need to find two lows. So you see that in this particular, if you're on this screen right now, this event has already happened. So the lowest point over here, you can say this is the lowest point, but if I draw, hardly it wouldn't be touching. You need at least two valid points, which are also called swing points. So in case of an uptrend, I need to find two lows. So this is one low and this is probably another low. Now you can see this is also a low, this is also a low, but you are taking the lowest point in an uptrend. And in case of a downtrend, what you're going to do, you're going to take the high and the lower high. Like this is the lower high. And preferably it should be like when I'm taking this point, you can see I have skipped these two and I'm taking this. It should be spaced a little apart to have a good validation. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go and choose the extended line. I'm choosing this particular point over here, the lowest point, and you need 2 points basically, bare minimum. So this is what I have selected over here. So you can see I have drawn a trend line over here. Now what happens is, the moment you get 2 points, you draw this trend line. Now here we do not know in future what's going to happen. So let's move ahead. Now these are the two swing points. Now in case as of an uptrend, sorry, in this particular uptrend, you would call this, there is a concept of higher high, higher low, lower high, lower low, which is called the Dow theory. Maybe when in a subsequent video, I'll cover the Dow theory separately over here. But here, as I told you, in layman's language, you need to choose the two lowest points over here when you're drawing a uptrend. And in case of a downtrend, you need to choose the two highest points. Now, two things you need to know is, when you're drawing a trend line in an uptrend, the second point has to be higher, and in case of a downtrend, the second point has to be lower. This is two things you need to remember. One is it shouldn't be too close, and second is the high and the low aspect. So now in future we don't know what's going to happen, so let's move ahead. And you can see the script at these points we knew. So the script was moving ahead following the trend, and it is still following the trend. It's going on. It has not. So you see here, after a long time, that is from 1st Feb till 23rd Feb, it was in an uptrend. It has come, it has touched this, it is taking support over here. So what happens is, whenever it comes and touches at these points, you call this as a support. Now this same line will turn into a resistance. I'm going to show it. When it breaks down this particular support, the same line which is there, that is the reason I have told you to keep an extended line, because every time you need not go and manually extend it. So let's go further, and you can see it's taken a support over here and it's moved slightly, come back again, it's taking support over here, it's moved high and it is taking support, but it has almost broken. So if it breaks this, it's going to move further down. So as I told you, it's broken this line, basically horizontal. If you had to draw a horizontal line, it has broken this support. Now you can see is, if at all the price comes up, this support which was there, if it comes and hits over here, it will be resistance. That means if we meet on top this particular line, before it crosses and breaks away, it's going to try hit this line and sort of bounce back. So let's see over here, it's moving up. You see exactly what I told you. It's come here at this same point. You see, we had drawn this line earlier. We don't know how the market will proceed, but one thing is there, that it respects the trend lines. So you see it has come and it has taken a resistance over here. Now it's moving ahead, and you see again it has touched, again it is taking a resistance. Now this trend line is something which we have drawn well in advance. So you can say somewhere on 20th March or second touch, which we had considered over here. So a trend line which I have marked on 1st, 2nd, it is respecting it. You can see even somewhere on 11th March. Now here there is a breakout. This could be probably a false breakout, but there is a strong resistance over here. Now if it breaks this again, it's going to go further up. No, but this is a false breakout and it has come down again. It's trying to move up. No, there's a huge drop now. If at all it comes up, it's going to face the same resistance again. That same line should be, but there is a huge, let me see if it's going. No, we have been going down over here. So if in an event it comes further, this line will again act as a resistance for the same. Now coming to a downtrend, like you see over here that here there is a downtrend. Let's see, we don't know further what's happening. Let's go back, and now in case of a downtrend, you see that this was the last high. So what I'm going to do is select this line, and here need to go over here, extended line, the highest point over here, and probably this is the second high. Now this is in case of a downtrend. Now here we don't know, like here we don't know. So the moment you get 2 points here, like it has broken this, you've drawn a trend line. Now this is a descending one. Now as it moves further down, if at all it comes up, it's going to come and take resistance over here, and if it breaks through, that will turn in turn as a support. Now you can see here it's a huge bullish candle and it has broken through. Now if there is subsequent more buying, it's going to move further up. There you see it has broken it. Now this particular resistance which was there will turn into support. That means when it falls back, it's going to come and take support over here. So you can see it is moved sideways and going further up. There was a huge drop and slightly above the support, it moved back again. Now here you can see it came back, it took support, moved up again. So this particular resistance has turned into support. You can see now it is again coming back, back, bouncing again. So it will not take time for this, because you can see there is a selling pressure over here. So there again it goes up, takes support, and right now it's moving up, it's coming down, and there you see there is a break over here and there is a huge fall. But again it has come up, taken resistance. Now this support which was there has now turned into resistance. So you can see it's coming, it's taking resistance. So once you draw this particular trend line, it sort of guides you. You can see we had drawn it over here, that somewhere around 20th March, and it is giving you the results, well ahead. So basically this is how you're going to draw the trend line. Okay, now there are a few things which you need to remember. As I told you, you need two valid swing points. Swing points are the extreme highs or the extreme lows over here to connect, and there should be a minimum of two. Now supposing you're drawing, let's delete this, both this, I'm going to delete this and select this particular one and delete that too. Now the more number of touches you get, better is the validation. Now earlier we had done for this. Now let's try and take multiple points. So let's say this is the lowest over here, second point, and here there is a third point. So you can see I have taken over here 1, 2, and here is the validation. Now one important thing which you need to know, and we had started from here, basically is that in most of the cases, 90% of the time, whenever you're drawing trend lines, you need to see that by the time the third touch happens, a breakout more or less would happen, a breakdown. So like here you can see this. So 1, 2, it moved out, third one, okay, there's a slide down, and after the fourth touch it has moved down. Now let's try it somewhere else at random. Okay, so let's change the time frame. Okay, let's try and do the same thing in an uptrend. I'll try and check. Okay, I'm increasing this. Fine. So let's say these are 2 points. We don't know what's going to happen further. I'm choosing the lowest point over here, extended, I'm taking here, sorry, extended. So from here to say here. Okay, so let's try and test the theory. So this is the first touch over here, there is a smaller second touch, third touch, and you can see it's almost moved down. So as I told you, typically by the third or the fourth touch it moves down. Here you see after third, fourth, it has moved down. So if you are taking a trade, basically, so this is where you would buy. Now as I tell you, the support and resistance concept. So supposing this is your trend line drawn, you can see this is your first, we draw normally after the 2 points. So you know that from here it's going to move up, so you're going to buy somewhere over here, and it has moved up. So this was your first point, this is your second touch. Let's see over here, it's moving on top over here. So probably once you buy over here, the third time over here you should avoid taking a risk of buying, because there is a very high probability that the market will fall. So typically at the third one or max at the fourth one, you are surely going to see a fall. So you can see over here exactly where it is. So I'm just going to take another time frame. Let's test it out again. So uptrend anywhere, somewhere, uptrend, this is a downtrend. Similarly, it should work on the, it does work now in, so more of a downtrend. It's just the opposite. Okay, so let's see over here. Okay, fair enough. We have not a good uptrend as such. Okay, somewhere here we are getting it. one. I need a few touch points over here, which I'm not getting. That's why I'm scrolling wherein multiple points wherein I can connect. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so let's go and try to draw on a 15 minutes time frame. Extended. I'm choosing the bottommost. Ticked up. So from here, this thing is interfering, so I'll take another point over here. Extended. So let's say this is my first one and this is second. So typically, as I tell you, after the first, that means after the second one you can still take a buy call, but the third one is very risky in fact, and after that fourth one could be very risky. So let's see whether it validates the theory. So this is the first one, and second one, in fact here it has gone, because in fact it is the third touch. I couldn't draw the line over here, you can see. So it's here 1 2 3 and it is gone down, boom. So you see the third touch is where it drops down. Let's try and see the reverse in case of a downtrend. So okay, this looks good. So let's delete this and go to our. Now I don't even know, and I'm just choosing at random, and I'm doing this live, so it's not something which I have saved and I'm trying to show you. I'm just trying to show you what exactly I'm saying. This is the first point, this is my second point. Okay, so let's try and see. So we have chosen 2 points, we don't know what's happening further. So first point validation, second point, now the third time, and you can see almost a breakout has taken place, and there you go. So you see, be it a downtrend or an uptrend, after the third touch, you typically see the breakout or a breakdown, if not the third, the fourth. Now this is a very useful feature you can use for your trading and make a good amount of money over here. So after covering this particular important point, time frame, as I showed you, it doesn't in fact make a difference. The same trend line hold true, but typically when you're drawing trend lines, it is always advisable to draw it in higher time frames, because that will hold good even for the smaller ones. So you would typically avoid drawing this in a 1 minute or a 2 minute. Not that it won't, but there is a lot of noise, lot of up and down movement, so you're going to get erratic results. Okay, so we have covered the uptrend and downtrend, how to cover it, and the swing points, the minimum requirement. And as I told you, is that 2 points are required. And for better validation, you can see I have been trying to choose a slope. Now drawing a trend line, something like this, where the slope, let me, okay, extended. Now you see I am taking wherein a gradual slope is there. Like, it doesn't make sense trying to, like, over here I'm choosing this one and the second one over here. Now this is not a proper trend line. Or likewise, if I choose a upward one, like here, high and high, because if you try to say take and measure this angle over here or this angle, it is really very high and you don't get good results. To get the best results, your angle, like if I'm measuring this angle from here, or in case of a trend line like this, typically your slope should be less. So I can say at an angle of, say, less than 45 degrees, in and around 30 degrees. Now you don't sit down with a protractor and measure it, but this is what, like, when I mean the angle over here, is that means that from here to here, that will be less than 45 degrees typically. And if you're drawing this line over here, for the best results, I'm saying now, so for example, you're drawing from here to here, so this angle typically less than 45 degrees, would be giving you the best results. But if you're drawing it too steep, then you're not going to get the best results over here. Then once that is done, we've talked of the angle, we've talked of the support, we've talked of the resistance. Now I have shown you how to draw the trend lines, of the key points which is there. Now there is one thing we shouldn't be doing. Like if I look over here and try and add maybe a few more lines. Okay, let me here to here and say from here to so this is something which you should try and avoid drawing too many trend lines, because you yourself wouldn't understand what it means. So when you're drawing, typically I would say it should be max 2 to 4 ones which is there, and you should be knowing where exactly you have done it over here. If you have too many trend lines, you're not going to understand what exactly you're doing. So let me go and delete all. Okay, okay, so basically you don't draw too many trend lines, because that doesn't confuse you. So let's say we are at let's go at the end, and where the script ends. Typically I'll tell you how exactly it should be. So this is the end. So you can see over here that I would normally draw one single one over here, like so. This was the fall, sorry, and this is the second point. You can see automatically the third point, and then there has been a fall. As I told you, a gradual one should be taken. This has already moved away, so I'm going to select a down, see from this point to here. Okay, now the script is somewhere here. You can see over here. Let's check out the validation, what we are talking first. Okay, so now the script is right now over here. The markets are it's since it's BTC, it doesn't close as such. This is where BTC is trading right now. So you can see there is a fall. It's trying to move up again, and if at all it moves up, this particular line which is there will act as a resistance to BTC. So there is a good probability that it may go hit this line and come back down. If it moves down, it's going to come back and again face this resistance over here. But if it breaks this, what happens is it will face another resistance over here, and if it manages to break this, then you can see a upward rally. So this is, you can see how you, if you draw trend lines in advance, you can literally predict what's going to happen. Then the three touch theory which I explained to you, the third touch, basically that works like a charm, both in a uptrend and a downtrend market both. So this is all about the trend lines part of it. And let me just give you a small recap of what you need to do while drawing trend lines. A few tips before we can wind up. A recap of what I have told you. When you're drawing a trend line, first thing you need to do is you need to find two highs in case of two lows, basically in case of uptrend, and two highs in case of a downtrend. You need to, basically these are called swing points, your 2 points where you're joining. Make sure that you keep the extended line for the future. The angle typically has to be less than 45 degrees. Okay, and make sure that you don't draw too many of them. So This is all which I could think of right now at the moment. And as I've promised earlier, I'm going to be continuing with more such knowledge which can help you in your trading. Lots of things to be covered, the indicators to be covered, and stuff. And I'm practically using this in my own trading, be it trading on crypto, be it trading on Forex. So a lot of things, and my trading, my profitability has increased a lot, and I'm trying to give it back to the world by sharing what I'm learning from my own experiences, learning from others, and hope that you enjoyed this particular video. And I'm sure for those who have probably not seen other videos, or probably who have not done technical analysis, they're going to find this video a lot useful. Do let me know in the comment section how you found this particular video. You found it useful? Did you learn something new? And what next you would like to learn in terms of technical analysis? Not that I'm a pro. I'm going to, if at all I don't know something, I'm definitely going to go try to learn and then explain the same to you after doing my own practical tests on it. So for all these efforts which I'm trying to take, I do can say urge for likes, because that is what keeps motivated for doing more, for working more hard. So please do shower your love, please do give a lot of likes, share it across so that more and more people can learn regarding the same, because this is totally free of cost. I've spent some good amount of money learning trading, and of course doing practical, losing and gaining both. So you are getting this totally free, the experience and the learnings both. So until the next video, take care. And before signing off, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly do so. So we'll meet again in another new video. Until then, take care and be safe.